Hi, here we're going to go back and visit that plumbing contractor fellow that we looked back at a number of slides ago. We first sort of came with the idea of a custom spice rack on the van to improve, really uptime, on-time kind of metrics. Um, so they did the spice racks. That was a big success. But the second big idea was, well, wait a minute. Instead of having your van tech guys come to the counter every morning and get what they think they need for the day, and not necessarily all of them are the world's best planners and ingredient kind of guys, and you give them a shopping list and they go to the grocery store and they still forget two things. I mean, I've got kids that used to do that all the time. I still do it myself. So they said, all right, if what we'd like to do is for guys to come in the morning to sort of check in at the shop, say, yep, they're here, they're sober, they look good, here's a cup of coffee, and here are your first two jobs, and tote boxes of ingredients for going and doing those two jobs. So don't go to the counter and waste an hour. Get out there right off the bat, and we can guarantee that you will arrive at those first jobs and get them done and move on. That's going to give us an extra hour a day just right there on uptime metrics. So remember, earlier we talked about here was a customer who was averaging 20 counter orders a day, picked up by 8 vans. At the end of the year, they had done a lot of sales, 128,000 in margins at 19.6 blended rate. But they were costing the distributor 16,000 a year, or a negative 13% return on sales. And basically a lot of paper being processed on both sides of the fence here. And because there were buying oversights, I forgot to get that when I was at the counter. I've got it here in the van, but I can't find it, so I'll go buy it even though I've still got it in the van. Or, duffel bag tool bags and having all the wrong stuff in your tool bag that's accumulated over time, and all the wrong stuff is in the van, or you don't even have it and you thought you did. These all caused the tech guys to leave the jobs and go back to the van, go out and buy stuff during the day and not clock time. So earlier we talked about the custom spice rack and did that. But then the jump start idea was, well, what if at the end of the day we took one best order placer who really was meticulous about what's the job, what's going to be needed for the job, etc. And at the end of the day, they would fax all of this stuff in a job related way. I mean, you could have 12 jobs, and in each job you might have a pinch of salt. Historically, you're not going to have a pinch of salt anymore because they got salt on the vans, so that gets stripped out. But even still, you might have two or three items that would be on different jobs. You would have those as separate line items so that you could get the stuff in a tote box. Fax it over electronic order entry, get it communicated to the distributor, so the distributor would then sort of on the swing shift say, okay, I've got it all, as opposed to, no, some of these items I don't have, can I, these are subs type of thing. Once that was cleared, then they could go ahead and pick it, put it into job boxes on the swing shift. The boxes would then get from the distributor's premise to the contractor, whether the distributor would deliver them first thing in the morning before the sun comes up for a fee, or the contractor has somebody swing by and pick them up early. These are details the two partners will figure out. And also, as they flowchart what's going on, there is some benefit and cost shifting. There's total benefit, but that doesn't mean that both people are going to share incremental costs and then share, let's say, incremental cost X, and they're both going to share incremental benefit 4X. Maybe the contractor gets 6X and the distributor is getting minus 2X. So, by flowcharting what's going on, you can realize, what, we're creating wealth here. Let's just make sure that we're sharing the wealth, and it may be that there are some fees for services the distributor charges. They'll figure it out. It's a detail. But at any rate, the boxes are dropped off before the day has begun, and the empties from yesterday are recycled. So now when the van techs come in, they can get off to a jump start on the first job. So let's move on to the next slide. Thank you.